Welcome back to another player review, guys. Today we are looking at Team of the Season, KDB, Kevin De Bruyne.
So all three of us have used his Team of the Season and his slightly lesser Team of the Year card. Jack's used both for a full weekend league, so I'd say it's a pretty good tell of which one's better. Obviously, his Team of the Season is better, but is it worth the 700k upgrade or not? We'll find out.
Yeah, man, I think looking at the Team of the Season compared to that Team of the Year, the biggest upgrade that stands out to me is that +8 defending, especially seeing as we used both cards at CDM. Do you think you could notice that upgrade in the defending and really feel it? And would you still recommend him as a CDM rather than a cam?
So I used him as both a CDM and a cam. I mixed Jack's team around a bit to play him as a cam just to test him out. And it depends how rich you are, in my opinion. If you're not so rich and you got him from like an upgrade or you got him red or whatever, then I'd say probably use him at cam, because just to utilise him a lot more. Whereas if you, like Jack is, like really have got a good team already, then I'd say CDM's really good. Partnering with like someone like Hullet or try using with David Luiz, someone who's going to sit back and defend, I'd say it'd be an absolutely brilliant CDM as that attacking option. Like we used Paulinho, just the man to like add to the attack and bring something else from deep.
Yeah, so I completely agree with Rob. This card is an absolute monster at CDM. Because of him being so fast, he just feels like another attacker at sometimes, but then he's able to track back. So in a lot of the clips, you'll see him start the attack, him be up with the attack, and then he'll be back defending, if the dude counters on me or whatever. The thing about the Team of the Season at CDM as well is that you can use an engine on him, whereas with the Team of the Year, you kind of have to use a shadow, and I think that's one of the main reasons as to why he feels so good at CDM rather than cam.
Yeah, so I think most people that are watching this video will want to know if it is worth the 700k upgrade from his Team of the Year, because they are pretty similar cards, bar the defending and like 4 pace or whatever it is. So would you say it's worth the extra 700k?
I think wherever you're playing him is worth it, because like I say, being able to use an engine on him rather than a shadow, it gets his agility and balance up quite a bit. So he feels really, really... He feels like one of the most responsive players I've used all year, to be honest with you. And, for the sake of, 700 odd K or however much it is on PlayStation, it's absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. Because he feels like a different player. I loved his Team of the Year at CDM. I used him for about 3 weekends altogether. But I brought him back vaguely recently, and he just didn't feel as great as he did before. Probably because there's so many Team of the Seasons that have, kind of eclipsed him, maybe. But this Team of the Season he's a completely different beast. He is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, so strapping the tinfoil hat sort of firmly on, I'm not sure how much I actually believe chemistry styles work, but comparing like when we used the Team of the Year in your team a while ago now, and like how that felt with like less of the beast cards around to compete against, this one still felt head and shoulders above that with the harder competition. So like, yeah, I think it's one of the few times I found myself saying that a 700,000 coin upgrade is actually probably justified.
So do you agree with me and think that he's the best midfielder in the game?
That I've used, yes. I'm wary to say yes instantly because there's obviously the boy Rude, and he's got like icon factor. So without using that, I wouldn't commit to a yes. But it's him or Hullet, isn't it? Like it's between those two.
Yeah, I'd agree. I've not used any version of Hullet, to be fair, on the game, but if it feels anything close to KDB, then you'd be impressed with him, because as far as versatility from your centre mids, I don't think you can go far wrong with a player like De Bruyne. You can play him attacking, play him defensive. He'll do a job either way with like insane stats. His shooting as well, I think, like, I know it's 97, it is crazy, but when you're using a CDM, you don't expect their shooting to be great, but get him in that position, he will score it 99% of the time. It is just crazy.
I think one of the big things as well for me was that I was using him in the same team that we did the R9 review in, and KDB felt like he was the more impactful player in my entire team. He was the one that always got an attack started. He always got the big tackling that could start the attack. He'd always spread the ball. He's honestly, I think, maybe not the best player on the game, but I think in a lot of people's teams he will be the most important, if that makes sense. Like, I think there's a reason as to why you can see so many pros use him and Hullet, and hopefully, let's keep his fingers crossed, lads. We get him red, and then we'll be able to bring you a Hullet review because I'll be able to afford him then. I think he's absolutely unbelievable. And then,
well,
if you have
can
a
I
look
just butt in for a sec?
Absolutely, mate. Go for it. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's important to say that he's the only central defensive midfielder I've used that's allowed me to completely run a game. Just every game I was in, I was just in complete control, and it was all through him. Like, everything was through him. And I've not had that from a player this year.
I think one of the things that helps that as well is the fact that it was David Luiz next to him. So it was somebody that I've used David Luiz's shapeshifter card for. I got him untradeable in the guarantee, and I know I can rely on him, and he just does the job that I need him to do, and he just lets KDB go forward. And I think if you've got a really good CDM next to KDB, you will work absolute wonders with him. You will absolutely love this card.
You need a player like that, I think, for him to be used properly. You don't want him and another attacking CDM. I think that you just get a bit exposed at the back. Yeah,
I think David Luiz is probably a great partner for him, really, or maybe a Vieira or something like that. But moving into the end card, you can see we've spiced it up a little bit. So overall rating, we've gone for a 10. Literally, there's nothing that I can argue with this card. There is not a single downside, I don't think. Value for coins, we've gone for a 9. Simply because it is still very expensive. There's a lot of people that might not have this amount of coins to spend on a player, but like Rob said, if he is going to be your marquee player, he's 100% worth playing at cam if you do want to use a KDB, because he still does have that 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot. It's not exactly like he's some lumbering mass that can't do the job. He is unbelievable. Chemist always said engine. Like I said, that's one of the big things I think that he's got over his team of the year, in that you can use an engine rather than a shadow, so you really do get the most out of his stats. Links, we've got Mahrez, as you've seen in the squad builder. I used Mahrez to get him on chem. Nainggolan would be a nice mix with him because he's just very tenacious. He's similar to like a Kante type role. And then we've gone for Foot Birthday Hazard, so if you need him to get into a different league, that's a really nice Belgian connection for you. And overall, I think best midfielder in game, and you won't find a single complaint from me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, no. I'm a lot more comfortable with the 10 rating on this one than I was the R9. Like, R9 I thought was just shy, but I was overruled. Like,
I'm going to scream.
De Bruyne for me. When I used the team, De Bruyne was the standout player.
Yeah, I think that says a lot, doesn't it? You've got a team with all these ballers in, and then it's your CDM that takes over and impresses the most.
Like Jack said as well, if you see all the pros and everything using it as CDM, don't shy away from using him at camp, because I used him there and he was fantastic.
I think that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed the review, guys.
So that's the video. If you enjoy it, please like. And we've got a new Instagram account as well. Check that out. We'll be uploading photos and just clips and whatnot, and post when we do post videos and stuff like that. So be sure to follow that. We'll put a link in the description, and we'll see you later.
See you later, guys.
See you later.
Bye.